Thank you. We're live. Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Director Snowden. Thank you. Director Noah, not present. Director Odell. Thank you. Director Lockett, not present. Director Buford. Director Robinson. Director Leggett.
Yes. Here.
Director Leggett.
Here.
Present. Okay. He's on. Okay. Thank you, Director Leggett. Director Taylor, not present. And Chairman Cody. Chairman, you have an in-person quorum for today's special call meeting. Okay, thank you. Director Snowden. Director Noah, not present for the vote. Director Odell. Director Lockett, not present for the vote. Director Buford. Yes, thank you. Director Robinson. Director Leggett.
Yes.
Director Leggett.
Yes, ma'am.
Director Leggett is on, but I'll come back to him. We may be having audio technical issues. Director
Yes.
Taylor, not present for the vote. And
Yes.
Chairman, motion passed to approve today's agenda for June 3rd special call meeting. Mr. Chairman, for consent items, well, for items 4.1 through 5.3, they're currently tabled items. And so the board would need to make a motion to take off the table before consideration of each item.
In the last meeting, Route 5, Route 2, Route 3 for the extension. We don't have a contract around that. And the original contract, that's the new contract. So Route 5 is not people route. 5.
So right now, Mr. Chairman, we were just requesting a motion to take off the table. So if there's going to be a motion, the new motion would be to take off items 5.1 through 5.2. Now, if it stays on the table, there's no discussion. Mr. Andrew, we don't have a motion yet. Mhm. There were consent and individual items that were tabled. So we did it as 4.1 through 5.3. Okay.
I'm taking consent item 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, and 4.10, along with individual action items 5.1, 5.2, 5.5.
No, ma'am. It stops at 5.5. Yeah, so. Okay. Motion made by Director Snowden and seconded by Director Robinson. Chairman, and I'll do a roll call vote to untable the items. Okay, Director Snowden. Director Noah, not present for the vote. Director Odell. Director Lockett, not present for the vote. Director Buford. Director Robinson. Director Leggett, not present for the vote. Director Taylor, not present for the vote. And Chairman Cody. Chairman, motion passed to approve to take off the table, not to approve, but to take off the table. Items 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, and 4.10 to include items 5.1, 5.2, and 5.5. No, sir. That is on the table. Okay, motion passed to untable those items. So we'll need a. Mhm. So now we just need to approve those items. We just untabled, no approval. So now. Okay, so for consent items, as motion to take off the table, we have up for consideration for approval, items 4.1 through 4.3, 4.5, 4.7 through 4.10, 5 and that ends it, 4.10 consent items. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'll do a roll call vote for the approval of those items. Director Snowden, Director Noah, not present for the vote. Director Odell, Director Lockett, not present for the vote. Director Buford, Director Robinson, Director Leggett, not present for the vote. Director Taylor, not present for the vote, and Chairman Cody. Chairman, motion passed to approve those consent items. Under item 4, excluding 4.4 and excluding 4.6. Point 1. Motion and a second for that. Okay, thank you. Okay, Dr. Buford, motion by Director Snowden, seconded by Dr. Buford. If no discussion, roll call vote. Yes, sir. Director Snowden. Thank you. Director Noah, not present for the vote. Director Odell. Director Lockett. Not present for the vote. Director Buford. Director Robinson. Director Leggett. Not present for the vote. Director Taylor. Not present for the vote. And Chairman Cody. Chairman, motion passed to approve item 5.1. Okay, motion made by and seconded by Director Snowden. Without discussion, Chairman, I'll do a roll call vote. Director Snowden. Director Noah, not present for the vote. Director Odell. Director Lockett, not present for the vote. Dr. Buford. Dr. Robinson. Director Leggett, not present for the vote. Director Taylor, not present for the vote. And Chairman Cody. Chairman, motion passed to approve item 5.2. Okay, thank you. 5.5, motion by Director Snowden and seconded by Director Buford. Without discussion, Chairman, I'll do a roll call vote. Okay, Director Snowden. Director Noah, not present for the vote. Director Odell. Director Lockett, not present for the vote. Director Buford. Director Robinson. Director Leggett, not present for the vote. Director Taylor, not present for the vote. And Chairman Cody. Chairman, motion passed to approve item 5.5. Service changes. And just for the record, I'm sorry, that item's still tabled. So if there's gonna be discussion about it, we'll have to take it off the table. Mr. Chairman, that is the last item on for the special call meeting for today's meeting. We can adjourn the special meeting and go into the budget work. No, the chairman has. Okay, yeah, and so we adjourned the special call meeting at. Thank you.
for following visitors and the public. Today, we will be going through the proposed FY26 operating budget for and then I have the Royal to provide overview of some operating budget. Our presentation. Our point, we just first time and just say that first I want to thank you for attending the second fiscal year 2026 budget workshop. The operating and capital budgets are balanced. The proposed operating budget will provide detailed information on our proposed operating and capital budget for fiscal year 2026. I will be, the information is pretty much training, from workshop one. They are a few new slides that provides additional clarity. As Ms. Royal stated, the budget is balanced on both the capital and operating side for FY26. We are proposing a balanced budget at $38,887,819. As you can see, the budget is balanced in accordance to state law. Our critical challenges still results in our ability to provide. We have some challenges with that. Question mark still on the amount of funding funds our formula and competitive grants. Still unknowns there. Dealing with a depreciated fleet, we have been making major progress in getting moving forward with some bus purchases, getting in. Public transportation safety, there were several issues brought up that we need to think more on safety of our buses, ferries, vans, to the public and the staff. There's dollars budgeted to address those issues within FY26. This chart outlines the red and risk. I just spoke about some of these risks. Service reliability really depends upon fleet replacement, customer care, and safety on our buildings, buses, and also inclusion of our security upgrades. Now, I was asked to change salaries and wages to rent. I don't necessarily agree with that because funding, we have to pay our employees. So that's green loan. That's something that we're going to have to do. But compliance with what the request was, it is in red, but that's addressed, including employee benefits and wellness. We're going to make significant investments. And we have to simply because our insurance claims through the roof. And it is substantially the amount of insurance every year. We're going to have to do something differently to make a difference. In the FY26 budget, there's also a proposed set aside. We're going to have to think about being self-funded or joining in another public entity insurance plan. And we need to begin now planning financially for that. Staff training and development. Over the last year, attention has been paid to the needs of employees in terms of development and staff training. Dollars in the past have been budgeted in each department for that purpose, but the dollars have not been taken advantage of. In FY26, there's going to be mandatory for our leaders. We've already started some of that training. We were in retreat during the month of May, which was very beneficial. We've identified certain training courses for all managers that must be completed by June 30th. And they are doing really well with complying with that. Work in 26 on internal compliance reviews. We're going to really get deeply involved in we have a major issue with compliance, whether it's pre and post trip inspections, whether it's requirements of the FTA. In FY26, there will be a compliance unit that will be providing reviews for every aspect of transportation and area transit. And that will be on the operations side and on the administrative side. In FY26, we're going to focus on return of service delivery, and that's going to require continued outreach and discussion with community stakeholders. We will continue to monitor ridership growth. Our federal grants are totally dependent upon our ridership numbers. If our ridership is down, our federal dollars are going to be down. Our state and federal grants, we will still pursue the formula grants, competitive grants when they come out, our GDOT Transit Trust Fund monies, and of course, monies from the Department of Human Services that helps us to provide services to our senior and disabled population. Our congressional directed spending, we requested $5 million to assist with fixed route bus purchases and the completion, $1 million for the West End River Street dock. Our SPLOST 8 funding funding request has been submitted to Chatham County to help meet the critical capital needs. The amount of the request was $49.2 million. About something in there if we are. And are we getting the amount that we requested? Not all of it. We requested a little over 8 million, and this is for taxes. And they've approved 1.1 million, while it's included in the proposed budget, 7.1 million, in addition to any related fuel costs. And what happened in the blue pair? Well, if paratransit was not funded by the county, then Chatham Area Transit will look into its financial resources that provided at a level that we can afford, which means a cut in service. And if the military doesn't think so, county is not recommending. We will have to reallocate funds if you're going to provide any level of care. Because that money, that 7.1 money is factored in. And it's, as I read the county's proposed budget, it is still in the budget. Our FY26 budget at a glance is coming on. And that's transit, tax revenue going up, service expansion, increasing, and our bill revenue increasing. Our expenses, of course, are up because of the high cost of workers' comp, fleet, liability, marine. And we, as I mentioned earlier, we have a self-funding set aside to help us to better manage insurance costs in the future. Competitive pay and benefit for 26, we are implementing career paths for certain position classifications, and we'll specify those later in the presentation. Capital and operating right now, the local match is challenging. All of our SPLOST setting dollars for local match has been depleted. So any grants underway that we are using, we should identify the local match, and that's included within the capital plan for FY26 local match requirement. The majority of the current local match, it came from the pay tax loss, which the county collects and distributes according to the. Okay, this slide just depicts our revenue by source. And as you see, the green represents the special service district transit tax. That's the largest component of tax revenue. This slide just shows expenditures by division. You can see that in most divisions, the budget is relatively flat. You're going to see increases in the maintenance department and the fixed route departments because you have insurance, you have a large percentage of the wages, you have preventive maintenance costs and maintenance that's due to the age of the fleet, which requires more maintenance, those kinds of things. But otherwise, the budget is remaining flat. In my narrative, I stated that it was put together from a conservative perspective because because there are so many unknowns in FY 26. And we simply have to be very conservative and watch every dollar. Succession planning, opportunities for career growth, our investment in staff training and development, non-union position classifications, levels 1, 2, and 3 classification for the positions listed below: the advocates, the clerks, the technicians, deckhands, and captains. We are in union negotiations, and these type discussions will be held during that time. The FY 26, the proposed is a total of 311 positions for 2026. And they are listed by division, the numbers per division. This chart also gives you a comparison of previous years also. This slide just gives and allows the board to see what they've done over the years as it relates to pay and benefits for the period fiscal year 2023 to fiscal year 2026. The board has approved 2 holidays, one in fiscal year 24, Juneteenth, and in fiscal year 25, Veterans Day. We've made enhancements to our wellness programs in 24, 25, and proposed additional enhancements in 26. Some through our medical insurance coverage. In 23, CAT increased the percentage of the medical premium from 70 to 75% every year, 23, 24, 25, and proposed in 26. CAT pays for vision coverage for employee only. In fiscal year 23 and proposed in 2026, investments in the retirement plan for employees enrolled. Pay each year, we have increased pay 23, 24, 25, and proposed a pay increase also in fiscal year 26. Highlighting the retirement, it is proposed in fiscal year 26 that every employee enrolled in the 401 plan will have a $1,000 additional investment by Chatham Area Transit Authority upon board approval. As we move into the future, meetings are underway with the city of Savannah to talk about an employer-assisted housing program for home purchase and repair. That is not funded in 26, but that is something we are looking into beyond 26. And of course, there will be criteria for that. Vested employees, home purchase within Chatham County, must be a full-time employee, no disciplinary actions for 6 months, income limitations, and in addition to priority rental parties. These are some of the considerations that will be a part of this. We are projecting at year end in the operating account, CAT will have a little over $18 million. A portion of that $18 million will be restricted. A part of it, 480,000, will fund the local match for 2 projects that we currently have underway that will be moving forward in 26. At the beginning of FY 26, we need at least 3 months of operating revenue. That comes to $9.6 million. And we have a proposed capital fund contribution of $2 million. That totals $12.1 million, leaving $5.9 million in unrestricted funds. And we are recommending that we make a reserve fund deposit of $2 million simply due to the unknowns of federal grant revenue for 26. And we retain the balance of $3.9 million in operating. Our capital priorities for FY 26. The capital priorities are balanced at $19.6 million with $7.3 million in local match for a total of a little over $27 million. The chart shows where the revenue is coming from, and the bottom shows what projects this money will be allocated to. That includes the slide. Now, in your notebook, you have a copy of the proposed plan written out. The focus, the proposed document is basically centered around the numbers, not include performance measures, but an overview of partners that will be a part of the final budget document. The proposed budget that includes the numbers. It's the first section 1. And the board will be asked to adopt an operating budget totaling the $38,687,890 at the board meeting in June. It is state law that a budget has to be adopted by January of each year. So any feedback that you may have prior to board meeting that you would like to see, whether it's a change or whatever it is, incorporated into the document, please get that information, because we have to do a quick turn in order to get the edits incorporated into the document. We probably, if there are additions, it may require reallocating funds. Have already thought about it as it relates to paratransit. Yes, paratransit service delivery has to be provided. It may mean that some of our special programs that goes away, and we target that money to paratransit, and that's just a little over $200,000. That may take place now. We will have to take a look at the level of service. And then as soon as we know, we will bring that back to the board for approval as to what CAT can afford. We won't know until the county adopts it. So it will be in July when and that will be brought back to the board of the county. You know, we talked about the last meeting. How many records? And that's really not hurting, simply because of the growth in property value. It's kind of balancing. And that's probably the operators in the middle. The budget is balanced. You won't know that until. And if they take the $7.1 million tax budget, then I will have to go in and take $7.1 million and come back with an amount that can to allocate to paratransit service. And what that looks like in terms of service delivery for our paratransit. It will be cuts in positions, it will be a comprehensive look in order to make it. $7.1 million is a big chunk out of cash. I haven't received from that from the county saying that they were removing their. It in the proposed budget, it has $7.1 million for it. And I was watching it. Okay. But what the impact is. Yeah.
Certainly as appropriate, we also have. That includes.
No, that's a. Paratransit, that's the only funding that we get for Chatham County, everything else. So, and that's the $7.1 million, plus, I believe it's $300 and some odd dollars for the cost of fuel to operate paratransit, a vehicle. And the major cost factor is personnel. That's where most of your money is for paratransit service delivery. Typically, paratransit vehicles are funded by grants. The county doesn't fund any capital. They fund the $7 million to provide paratransit services county-wide. Now, there may have to be, once we know for sure if the different municipalities desire for the same level of paratransit service county-wide, then there will be discussion as to whether they will pick up the cost to maintain the service level of our paratransit. I don't think anyone would want to see people that can't get back and forth that are disabled. So I'm pretty sure the community will come together and help meet that challenge. it'll be up. To this board, you all know. So it is something to think about and provide guidance to staff of anything that, um, that's in the proposed budget that needs to be there.
Meeting adjourned, Mr. Chairman, at 5:06 PM. Thank you.